Hey, what up out there in podcast land? This is my very first podcast. I have no fucking idea what it's going to be about yet. Probably going to cover things like, elections, typical shit, the environment, Australia, yep, they're going to come up in the news, of course. Maybe some sick-ass alcohol stories or sad ones, if you want to, work through your problem, whatever.
Kangaroos.
Kangaroos, back to Australia. But,
no,
yeah.
Problem, man. We don't
So,
this problem.
I'm one of your hosts, Morgan, and then we got Antoine over here. He doesn't want to use his real name, and no problem, I understand that. So, Antoine it is. Cutting butt. So, to recap, we fucking came back from the Lost Lake Cafe, and, great-ass apple pie, black coffee, delicious. My man Antoine had a breakfast sandwich. Can't say anything better than that, right?
Yeah.
And then we jaunted over to QFC, and there was this guy working security over there that Twan knew, and we were slagging him the whole way back, fucking trying to be like that badass security guard, fucking...
Wishes he was a cop.
Yeah, exactly. Wishes he was a cop.
He's 19 and can't grow a mustache.
Oh yeah, why don't you tell the people about it, man? You know the guy.
Oh, it's fucking... Just being fucking a dipshit, fucking laughing at the fucking helpful cashier clerk, or laughing to the helpful cashier or clerk or whatever, fucking helping me out with some shit, and I wasn't even doing anything wrong, and he fucking wanted to laugh like there was something to laugh about, when really it was just him making himself the middleman out.
Right. Yeah,
Being hella smug and fucking his typical self. Fucking doing everything that you're not supposed to do in security and fucking making an ass out of himself.
How much do you think he weighed wet, by the way?
150, maybe 155.
Shit.
At like 6'3".
Okay. Yes, yeah. Well,
Those combat boots do kind of hike you up a couple inches, though.
Yeah, they do. But, man, they come in handy. I don't know. Have you ever had a pair?
I don't think they come in handy for him. Like I said, he doesn't really even step outside the doors.
And by the way, if you've ever been to either QFC on Broadway and Capitol Hill, which is where we're currently located, there's just constantly homeless people outside. Sometimes, they'll get a little violent, depending on the situation, but, be what it is.
He's got a bulletproof vest and a gun.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's got a bulletproof vest and a gun.
Was he wearing it then, when we were at the store?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I didn't see it, but you wear the same shit every day.
Okay. Is it like a light vest, like good up to like maybe a 38?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't think it was like had a plate or anything, but
yeah. Probably just straight Kevlar, right?
Yeah.
I've seen this guy at a pool hall had what looked like those vests, but they look like a life preserver, and you wear them like fashionably, like to like snow resorts and shit, right? What do they call that? Like maybe just a vest, snow vest. Anyway,
never seen them.
I guarantee you have. I'm just not describing it very well. But point is, anyway, so it looks like one of those padded jackets, but like no sleeves. And the box was like...
Oh, okay. Wait, no, I know. Like a down feather type thing?
Yeah, exactly,
Kind of
yeah.
like a snorkel jacket with the sleeves cut off and the no hood?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, and the homeboy was like, yo, man, I think that's a fucking a bulletproof vest. I've seen like a million like... Or, well, not a million like that, but you know how he tends to exaggerate. Not that that's a bad thing. Provides an active imagination, whatever, but... Yeah, no, he's like, I've seen that, like, all over the internet and shit like that. That's a bulletproof vest. I'm like, and it's in, like, an Asian sketchy, like, dive bar pool hall on, like, Highway 99 or Everett Mall Way, whichever it was. So you're like, okay, man, shit might go down at any point. I don't know. So, I guess not surprised that I didn't notice that he might have been wearing Kevlar.
The security guard or the...
Yeah, the security guard.
Okay.
Yeah, I realized I did like a long-ass roundabout back to the security guard, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Fucking... Any good security stories? You know, aside from like maybe the ones you told me on the way over back over here.
No.
Right? No. No. All right. No, that's cool.
No, really, for the most part, it's a boring job. Fucking lame as fuck.
Yeah.
I watched a pile of rocks. Pile of rocks for 12 hours.
At a quarry or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean, I imagine it's like, you know, like depending on like what the job is. But you've never worked any like club situations or anything?
Think of it. I don't know, just hopped all over. There's a lot of different places, but...
Oh, okay. I mean, I've worked a couple of club situations, and to be perfectly truthful, I probably shouldn't have been working them, but there was never a real problem anyway. But... I mean, I thought they were pretty fun. Most of the time, the chicks, like, walk up to you and like, hey, how's it going? Fucking, will you watch my drink? Or you're like, hey, get back within the premises, or you know, put your drink down and
Sir,
go out to
stop jacking off.
Yeah, or something like that. But most of the time, it's just chill. People just want to talk to you and just be like, oh, yeah, I know the security here. I know the security. I'm good. You know, that sort of thing.
No, I never was lucky enough to work at a strip club. That would have been great to stand around and...
Oh, I wasn't even talking about a strip club. I mean, if you want to talk about a strip club, it gets sleazier.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no, it's just, I don't know. It's not like... It's just like to the degree of which guys take the sleaziness of like, oh, I know the security, because then they think like, oh, can I get a deal, bro? Like, will the chicks like give me a hand job, you know, or like will the lap dances be like way cheaper? And it's like, no, dude, I'm trying to make fucking money too. You know, and if they don't make money, I don't make money, because it's really bad when they do make money, or as it is. They don't fucking tip you as a staff member. I mean, they do, but it's like they're practically fucking you if they're tipping you anything good. Right? I don't know. So anyway. Let's see. So I guess I had a list of topics that I wrote down like all excitedly because I'm like, yeah, it's the first fucking podcast, you know, that sort of shit. I guess like one of the ideas I want to get out there was like, you know, racism and stuff like that. Fucking, I guess like I thought about it partially because like, you know, we've been hanging out with like a comedian buddy of mine named Mauricio.
He's Australian.
Yeah, no, he's Mexican, but Mexican-Australian. Nah, no Australian whatsoever, but back to Australia. Anyway, so because Mauricio likes to talk about race, specifically, like, I'm Mexican and I'm super proud, you know, which is
fuck kangaroos.
Fuck kangaroos, fuck white people.
Especially white fucking kangaroos, man.
I guess I was just thinking about racism a lot, like, you know, just because it's just, like, been around, like, at least the topic in discussion. And, I just saw, like, this like, cup of noodles that said, like, you know, Asian bowl of noodles or some shit like that, but it had like the Chinese brush lettering style, so it looked like, you know, it was like watercolor Asian brush. And fucking, I thought to myself, like, you know, like racism is never gonna go away if like even companies are like kind of placating you a little bit, trying to dupe you. Like, I mean, that bowl of noodles was not made in fucking China whatsoever. And
it's weird, that's like the one thing not made in China.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, they're just trying to dupe you into thinking like, okay, you're buying the real deal, but it's still the same cup of noodles, maybe some different spices, and maybe like some freeze-dried, like, I don't know, like, spinach. I don't know. Fucking...
Then they got those fucking, pad thai cups. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, but if it's like a pad thai cup, I'll like be like, all right, that's cool.
Those might be made in China. Even though they're supposed to be Thai.
Yeah, I mean, you know the way the world works, probably. But you know, I mean, pad thai is delicious. I'll take it any style, unless it's like, you know, really, 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 really shitty pad thai.
Like made by fucking Australians.
Did a dingo eat your baby?
Did a dingo eat your pad thai?
But yeah, I don't know, man. Fucking, you know, everybody always likes to point to like mascots like, you know, Chief Wahoo, the Redskins, Aunt Jemima. I mean, but nobody calls out the Asian shit. I mean, not that I'm Asian, you know, I don't hate the Asians, but I'm like, okay, you know, I'm looking out for myself, whatever. But it's like, you know, I mean, like, nobody's saying shit, you know.
So what's the deal with Aunt Jemima anyways? Like, what's the...
Oh, it's just like, I mean, like, some people take it like she's like the mammy character, like, all right, y'all now, or I'm doing like the white Southern, but like, you know, I mean, you know, that kind of like, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about when I say a mammy character. I can't do the voice right now because I've been drinking.
Yeah, I mean, now that you say that, I kind of recall that whole idea or whatever, but that's
the big, wide, motherly maid.
Yeah, I remember that being clarified to me before, but I was kind of like, totally forgot that. So I was like, what's the, like, why would they even make like that character for syrup? I was like, did they? Like,
yeah. You know, I mean, it's funny though. It's like you could pair Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben together, and I never really thought about that. But it's like, oh, dude, that's perfect.
Great couple, those two.
Yeah, great couple, those two. Been married for at least 50 years. Who the fuck knows, at least. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just like weird though, like, because, you know, you look at products and they're pushing racism on you, and then you look at, like, I don't know. It's understandable when you're like a woman at all, but then you see, like, you know, situations like where people are like, see a minority and they like lock their car door, or you know, they tense up, or they speed walk, or they reach into their hand, or I mean, sorry, their pocket for that knife, you know, that kind of shit. It's always gonna be there.
Hide your weed.
I'm Tyrone, and I'm here to fuck your wife.
Tyrone's just gonna pop up and be like, I'm Tyrone, and I'm here to sue your ass.
Fucking Tyrone. That Tyrone. I'm fucking around with my Native Instruments pad over here, trying to be both the engineer and the host, with the co-host Twan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You looked at me like I was gonna blow it. I remembered.
No, I'm just laughing at that name.
Oh yeah, no, Antoine's a good name, or a good what do you call it, fake name. We decided if we were gonna slag people, we weren't gonna like either drop names unless we were just like absolutely a fuck them. And Twan over here took it to the next level. Was like, I mean, if I'm gonna talk about some shit, I really don't want them to know, which is fine. I respect that. You know, I get it.
That way Tyrone can't sue me. He'll sue your ass though. You're using your real name, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I guess at some point I'm probably gonna say some shit where like I get like a defamation suit or something like that. But
Tyrone's big arms wrapped around you.
Right, exactly. I unlocked a new achievement: Tyrone's arms protecting me in prison.
He's there to hurt you, man.
Exactly.
He's Tyrone.
Well, but see, the thing is, like, Tyrone has a tender side too. He's trying to make sure that his prison cookie is soft.
He's gonna beat you up while he fucks your wife. And then he's gonna fuck you.
Oh, is that so? I'm good. You know, if I ever met Tyrone or ran into Tyrone, I would so be down with that video. But he probably looks like he only like hangs out in like Compton or you know, the hood or wherever it might be.
Big mistake.
Well, like a accidentally released sex tape.
What?
You'd be down for that video in Compton.
No, I'd be down to like run into Tyrone unless like. Well, no, I'd be down there like if I found myself in Compton and Tyrone walked up to me and like, I'm Tyrone. I guess I'd be down for that video, but like if he was like just up here in Washington State, I'd totally be down for that video too. I guess there's no situation where I wouldn't be down for that video, except for like if I had to go out of my way to be in that video. You know what I mean? Like, if it just happened upon me, I'm totally down for it. I'm just there.
I'm the party pooper.
You like that shit? Fucking, I have like the layout kind of set up so I can do like some funny shit with like Arnold.
I'm the party pooper.
Here, dude.
Yeah.
It's not a tumor.
Right?
Party pooper.
You're a fucking choir boy compared to me.
Right? Dude, once I get like this shit all laid out just the way I want it, I'm gonna have like some funny shit on here.
Dude, that last one's what I wanted to say to that security guard.
You're a fucking choir boy compared to me.
You're a fucking choir boy compared to me.
Ah!
He's like, oh. Everybody loves to do the Arnold impression, and it's like wildly amazing, like how shitty it can be, or how way off it can be, or surprisingly accurate too. My favorite ones are the Stallones, though. Like I love when people clown on Stallone, because everybody clowns on Arnold just a little bit, or you know, with like a little bit of tongue in cheek. Like, I love Arnold, but you kind of clown on him a little bit, that sort of shit. But fucking Stallone totally like deserves like every inch of being clowned on.
That guy's a dick. Like, you see him on like VH1 and shit. Like, he's kind of a dick.
He kind of comes off that way. I mean, I kind of would be too, though, if I was like Rocky Balboa for like the 70s and the 80s, and every fucking Italian in New York was like, hey, I want to be fucking Rocky. You know, that sort of shit. It's like, okay, that shit would get to your head. I heard he was like outside of like Eddie Murphy's like party one time, and like he wasn't invited, and he was just like pacing outside the gates, and like Eddie Murphy was like, you know, some assistant was like, yo, you got Stallone just like pacing outside the gates, like, you know, what do you want to do about this? He's like, you know, let him in, because, you know, it's like whatever, it's the polite thing to do. That's I guess what Eddie Murphy does. But yeah, he kind of comes off as a little bit of a dick.
Why didn't he let him in the first place?
He just wasn't invited.
Oh.
You know, it's just like, okay, you know, like, I mean, I guess the security were like, you're not on the list or something like that, and he was just like, fuck that, you know, I'm fucking Stallone, you know. I can't even do a decent Stallone when I want to right now, but point is...
That was like if Mike Tyson and Stallone had a baby.
Yeah, I'll fucking eat your kids, you know. Yeah. Fucking Mike Tyson. So, I guess, we got totally... What were we even fucking talking about? I guess we were talking about racism, and then we went into clowning on Stallone, right?
Tyrone, Australians, kangaroos.
Yeah. Damn. This might be a theme where we're just, like, talking about Australia. You want to look up some Australian news real quick?
Yeah, sure, dude.
Alright. I'm going to hit the pause button on the podcast, just that way we're not burning up minutes.
Just like podcast everything, man.
Yeah, I guess it's just like I guess that means I'd have to edit out the lulls in between. We unhit the pause button because I opened up my email and it's going through my spam folder because Twan over here had to send me an email for specific purposes, but I'm checking my spam folder because I didn't get his email, and I see that all this shit like Asian date team. Fucking the one that caught my eye was like sexy games, women stealing cars, and then like below it says like, warning, you now have access to the most addicting adults only games ever. And Twan was like, oh, you get those two. Fucking basically, we burned some minutes there and we fucking didn't even catch that shit. But
mine's hardcore. The shit that I get, it's like they got shit with like my actual name on it and fucking like.
Oh, yeah, I get those too.
Like, to me. And they're like, hey, Antoine, fucking, you know, like, you want, like, fucking Asian mail-order brides or whatever the fuck, and yada yada. And then there was one that was like, oh, you're, fucking, like, fucked up, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to read the rest of it, but, like, I didn't want to open it. But I was kind of like, what the fuck is their angle on this one? Like, it was kind of interesting.
Dude, do you remember, like, maybe a few years back when, like, they would send you, like, fake profile pictures, like, oh, this is me, you want to meet up sometime? Like, it was an actual chick responding, like, maybe a Craigslist ad or something?
No.
Oh. Maybe that's actually if you do Craigslist ads. But they would...
you know me, though, I didn't really, like, do much computer shit.
Oh, true. Yeah, true. Well, okay, a couple years ago, like, I mean, if you were, like, perusing Craigslist for something like that, like, you'd maybe respond to somebody's email, like, if it said, like, I'm an attractive cutie, you get all the yada yada. You respond to that thinking, like, oh, I'm going to actually, maybe, like, meet a chick off of Craigslist. You can meet a chick at the bar, but sometimes you're, like, also, like, fuck it, I'm sitting around at home, it's 3 a.m., like, just like you do on OkCupid or whatever. Anyway.
That was where I fucked up and why I sorry.
Oh, no, well, yeah. But,
that's why I get those weird specific emails.
Yeah, because they get your shit. Where was I going with that?
Craigslist hookers.
Oh yeah. So the bots send you specific emails like, oh hey, I got your response. You should come meet me over at this website. Here's my website link, and here's a couple profile pictures for the. And they're like pretty sexy looking babes. And then it got to a point where like I was just getting those emails without even responding to anything. I mean, it was kind of cool because you're getting like 3 or 4 nude pics and whatever, like some hot chicks. You're like, fuck yeah, at least. But yeah, that was going on a couple years ago. I don't see that much anymore as far as like spam email. But yeah, man, you should try resending that email, or at least let me take a look at it, because I don't see that shit. Anyway, so fucking. Oh yeah, we're gonna look up some Australia stories before we got sidetracked on fucking Asian hookers online. They don't have to be Asian hookers, but we started out with some Asian mail order brides. Australia news. Allegations fly. Pell investigated over abuse claims. Yeah, no surprise, all over the world there's Catholic bishops that are crooked as fuck and or, are a little bit Uncle Touchy, if you know what I mean. McAfee enters Apple's FBI showdown. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I wonder what happened to him. I went to school with like one of the McAfees, but it was like, like a distant cousin or something like that. They were just normal dudes or whatever, but... I think, if I remember right, they were trying to be like firefighters at the time. Apparently they did like a couple training runs in like some prepped buildings.
I can't, I'm trying to focus on this, I can't like hear what you're saying.
Oh, I'm just like talking out loud, like, I mean, even if you're not listening, I mean, it's, just filling up the podcast minutes here.
Alright.
How to make your wine taste better. Well, no shit.
How to make your woman taste better?
Well, that'd be nice. I mean, for those specific moments when she's particularly musky, but no, it was how to make your wine taste better. I would like to read that because, as you'll come to learn on this podcast, I like to drink. It might be an alcohol thing, like, alcoholism, or it might just be, what I call a hobby. That sounds like an alcoholic thing to say. Anyways, so... how do you make your wine taste better? You let it breathe. Sounds like a pretentious term, and the article says that. But, apparently you gotta open it up every now and then. Let out some of the gases. Don't fill your glass right to the top. Well, yeah, that's the thing that I heard that we do a lot here in the States. Or even fill it like halfway. You wanna have like a shallow cup of wine.
Yeah, I fill that shit way up.
Yeah, but fill it up more often and like lower quantity, dude, it tastes way better. I mean, because after a certain point you're just getting just this thick. It's like, if you don't care, that's not a big deal. But if you're having like a nice glass of wine, you get like that thick taste where all you're basically just quickly downing stuff, and you're missing all the flavor. It doesn't aerate.
Open up.
Yeah, all that pretentious sounding stuff. But it kind of does something to it. As opposed to I feel like that process is more important than spending $500 on a bottle of wine.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, don't fill your glass to the top. Temperature matters. Yeah. Also, dark glass. But a lot of places. Depending on the kind of wine. I don't know. Anyway, don't hold your glass by the stem. What? The stem is there for a reason. If you've gone to the trouble of serving it at the right temperature, you don't want to affect that with body heat from your hand. Oh, hold your glass by the stem. I was like, oh, okay. Huh, that's interesting. I didn't think that, your hand temperature would affect the taste of the wine, supposedly.
Wait, so you would think that your hand temperature would transfer quicker through touching the actual glass rather than the stem?
Yeah, that's what they were saying, is touch it by the stem. I just misread it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, hold it by the stem. And that's what they're saying, like, there's a reason the stem is there. Avoid the second cheapest option on the menu. Yeah, because you don't want to look cheap, but then you still are being cheap, right? Oh, wow, and then you're not getting the value that you think you are. Huh, interesting. Because they, like, adjust prices accordingly. Dude.
Is that your email?
Yeah, that is my email. Dude, what the fuck?
I mean, it said that it didn't send. I mean, it didn't say that, but I looked on it, and it looks like I didn't send it, but I did.
Huh. Try sending it again, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I just did.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I just learned something, so avoid the second cheapest option on the menu. Wow. Drink it straight. Well, who the fuck doesn't do that? Oh, without the addition of ice. Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, I guess I don't really add, like, ice to port. I mean, port's a little different than wine. I mean, it involves wine, but I like to chill the whole bottle. It tastes great fucking chilled, I think. But that's port. If you paid good money for the bottle you've got there, you're making sangria if you got yeah, just drink it straight. Yeah, of course, no shit. Store the bottle properly, no shit. Know when to swirl. Yeah, I always want to know, like, why the fuck they wanted to swirl shit. Tell you swirling is necessary to bring out and appreciate the wine's aromas, and certain wines are not meant to be swirled. Sparkling wine, for example, will dissolve and go flat as soon as the carbon dioxides make contact. Okay. I never swirl white wine, though. You kind of, like, don't get the legs on white wine. Or do you?
It doesn't matter. You can get legs on pretty much any wine. All it is the surface gravity or something like that.
No, it's the amount of sugar.
Well, that's the thing, is it's the gravity. The sugar impacts the gravity, but the sugar's not the only thing that can impact the gravity.
Oh, really? Like, what else affects the gravity?
Well, there's alcohol, there's all kinds of shit. Like, higher alcohol stuff will do that. Like, you can do that with liquor. I mean, you can take vodka and swirl it around or whatever, and it'll do the same thing.
Yeah, but not quite in the same way. But yeah, I know what you mean.
No, try it. Like, for now on, when you drink, just like swirl your shit around in a nice glossy cup.
I've done it. I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, you still get the legs, but it's like it's not quite the same. You know what I mean? Like, it is legs, but it's they're a little bit thicker, oilier.
Yeah.
I mean, not that there's any oil in alcohol, but you know what I mean, like the look of it.
Well, yeah, there's different wines and stuff like that, or beers will have different amounts of, like, oils and stuff like that in it.
Huh.
Or, sugars and all that.
Let's see. Still in Australian news. We haven't departed from that. Man. It looks like pretty much the same stuff going on here, except it's just like, Australia's version, I mean, I don't know, what do I expect? Like, I mean, aside from differences in, like, political stance, like, I mean, it must be the same bullshit all over the world, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Let's see, where are we at in the quantity of time consumed here? We're approaching that half-hour mark. Twan stepping out for a cigarette. I guess this might be the end of the first podcast. We did a whole lot of bullshitting, but I think it was a good time. If you have any suggestions, or if you want to, just send us an email, just a bullshit about stuff. I mean, you can join the podcast. You'll be right there with us. I'm always welcome to viewer participation or listener participation. I gotta get used to that. And I don't know. Oh yeah, the email is luceropodcast@gmail.com, and that's Lucero for Lucero. All right. Well, peace out.